Hey guys, we are back with some more Kingston Frontenacs franchise mode in Eastside Hockey Manager. And what we are going to be doing first is signing a couple of free agents. As I already have a couple of players on the short list, Ayrton Freeman and Brody McDougall. Now, both of them obviously don't have any junior rights, so we are going to be attempting to sign both of them. Because with the way our forward group is, you could always use some extra help. We can have up to 30 skaters on the roster, so it couldn't hurt signing 2 more forwards there. We have 8 defensemen. I think we'll be fine for defense, and then we have 3 goaltenders. Because, I mean, obviously with our defensive core, 3 of our best players are all defensemen, Constantinu, Aguano, and Byrne. So I figured we'd sign a couple more forwards. Unfortunately, we're not able to sign any of our good prospects, such as DiPiolo here. If we approach to sign him, he's not interested in anything. And then as well as Christopher Giraudet. If we approach to sign him, same thing. So we're going to go ahead in the simulation a couple of days until those guys sign. Then we'll get all the preseason games set up. And then we should be able to go into the start of year number 1 against Ottawa. Oh, and that's one thing I forgot to mention is that the logos are fixed. Last episode, there were a few teams that were missing their logos, and the Ottawa 67s was one of them. The funny thing is that the 67s logo was actually in the files. It just the name of the logo didn't match the name of the team, so it didn't assign the logo to the 67s. It was missing the apostrophe right there. And then as well, Flint, I had to actually Photoshop that and then put it into the files, as well as I believe it was, you know what, I don't know, it doesn't matter. There was another team that was missing their logo, but all the teams now have their logos, and we'll see what happens here with the free agents. I would imagine we'll get them. And here we go. Let's see. Yep, we are going to sign Freeman from Hearst. And do we have the other guy? McDougall, I believe his name was. So the situation with McDougall is that Hamilton and Mississauga have also given him deals. So hopefully we're able to get that player on our roster, as he is taking his sweet time to sign places, as I now believe, has 5 contract offers. Yeah, from your Kingston Frontenacs, Hamilton, Mississauga, Barrie, actually 6, Peterborough, and Sarnia. So maybe we need to up our offer there a little bit, if we can. Yeah, we'll give it, we'll give him a signing bonus, $3,000. Why not? Hopefully that'll entice him a little bit. Cal Davis suffers an injury in practice. Oh boy, well, here we go. Not looking good already. London and Kingston exhibition game proposal, sure. And there we go. Roughly 2 weeks later, he decides to sign with your Kingston Frontenacs. I had the urge to say Vegas Golden Knights there for a sec, but no, your Kingston Frontenacs. So there you go. Finally got him. Hopefully he's worth it, as there appeared to be a lot of teams going after him, so I would imagine he's at least decent. So now what we'll do is, since the preseason's coming up, we'll ask our head coach about all the roster and lines. So there you go. He's scratching Cranford, Davis, Golovachev, Druitt, Freeman, Wisdom, and Mercer. So McDougall's dressed, so good thing we went out and signed him, but Freeman, unfortunately, is scratched to start out the season. I guess that's all right. And McDougall, I didn't see all of his attributes before because some of them were hidden by Fog of War. So let's see. Work rate 82, influence 61, strength 71, agility 60. So that physical category is pretty good. Poke check, positioning, hitting, checking. Yeah, another defensive forward here. And then let's actually take another look at Freeman. 40 face-offs, 38 off the puck, 39 passing, 39 wrist shot, offensive forward, Great mental category with the anticipation, creativity, determination, teamwork, and work rate all up there. Physical category is a bit dismal, but we'll deal with it for right now. As you can see, we have a plethora of forwards here. As 1, 2, 3, 7 forwards are scratched, and 2 defensemen, and Connor Alley and Evan Brand are scratched. Aguano, Constantino, Murray, Gordon, Brahani, and Byrne are in there, and the goaltenders Bonello and Pechia. Let's take a look at our lines. So defensively, Murray and Aguano, and then Byrne and Constantino, and then Brahani and Gordon, and then forward-wise, Hotchkiss, Pringle, and Bernie. Second line, Hugh, Newman, and Baker. Third line, Laurie, Larabi, and McDougall. And the fourth line, Derungs, Martin, and Field. And then Bonello and Pechia with the 1-2 goaltending tandem. Derungs, funny thing, is actually on the power play, even though he's on the fourth line left wing. And then penalty kill, Hugh, McDougall. So yeah, we definitely got a nice pickup there in McDougall. He's on the 5-on-3 penalty kill as well. Now what we're going to do is assign jersey numbers, as we appear to just be all over the place here. So I just decided to do the auto assign. Went clear and then auto. So there you go. There are the jersey numbers for this season. And then captains, I'm going to say it's going to be... where's that defenseman? Aguano. Yeah, because he's without a doubt our best player. And then I guess we'll go with Byrne, because he's 20, he's one of the older guys on the team. And then we will go with, let's see, I guess we'll go with Constantino, all of our star players there. There you go. Now, as far as our tactics go, we're definitely more of a defensive-minded team with the amount of defensive forwards we have. So I think for mentality, we'll go defensive. Aggressiveness, I want to set that to aggressive. Back check, hard. Puck pressure, heavy. Hitting, well, it's the OHL. You don't need to hit too hard. I guess we'll see how we do with normal hitting. Tempo, I want that to be high. Shooting, heavy. Dump the puck, normal. And then as far as our tactical systems, forecheck, positional high, offensive zone. Yeah, all this can be positional. Neutral zone, defensive can be 2-1-2. Defensive zone, positional, yep. Offensive face-offs, I'll set that to overload. Defensive zone, basic. Okay, so then line matching. We'll go with what this is saying here. So 1v3, 2v2, 3v1, and 4v4. Shot targeting, not specified. 2 defensemen, 3-on-3. We'll go 2 forwards. And defensive usage, normal. Forward usage, normal. Extra attackers will be Pringle and Hotchkiss. Now let's see the units here. So this first line is 3-star everything. The second line, better defensively. Third line, better defensively. Fourth line is actually... the funny thing is, the fourth line actually is the best offensively of any of our lines here. So actually, you know what? We'll go with unit tactics. And I'm going to set the fourth line to be offensive. And for the third line, and basically everything else... Well, actually, these guys can be normal. But yeah. That looks good. Confirm. So we'll see how those tactics do. And the main reason also that we are a defensive-minded team is that our head coach, Curtis Foster, prefers a patient and defensive style of play. So that would, that would sort of mold his coaching style a little bit better. Caputi also has a patient style of play. David Franco, patient and defensive. John Goodwin, defensive. Longo, defensive. So basically all our coaches, either no preference or defensive-minded. So we're going to stick to what we have for right now. And we'll see how we do in this season. So the preseason all set. Hamilton, Erie, London, and Saginaw is who we are facing in the preseason. And then the regular season will start on September 22nd against the Ottawa 67s. Kingston reserve list notification. 33 contracted players. So what's the limit here? 61 players on the reserve list, and only 60 are allowed. Okay. So we actually have Gabriel Velarde, although he is out for 5 months with back spasms. That's unfortunate. So let's see who is going to be cut here. You know what, we can cut one of these overage players, because it's not like they'll let us use too many of them anyway. So I think we'll just cut whoever is the worst in terms of their skill, who is 20 years old, and I would say that's gotta be Falavena. Yeah. And he's got a good mental category, decent physical category, but the technical category as a 20-year-old just is not there. So we're going to release his rights, and that should be all good. Yes, it has been adjusted. Very nice. So we will continue. And Matt Hotchkiss has been injured for 2 weeks with a hip flexor strain. That's unfortunate to start the season. I mean, he should be back before the regular season starts anyway. But, yeah, not good for his preseason debut. So I guess we will let the coach replace him and see what he comes up with. So who's in? Golovachev is now in favor of Hotchkiss. And we have another injury. Brian Laurie will be out for a week with a shoulder contusion. Wow. Injuries already piling up here in before the preseason even starts. Hamilton offer for Hughes. Oh, I was going to say. Yeah, not Jack Hughes. And we have finished training camp, so let's take a look at the scrimmage stats. Points. Cal Davis with 7. Jacob Murray with 6. Yeah, he's definitely a good player there. He's only 16 as well, so he'll be with us for at least a couple of years here. Samfield with 5. Hotchkiss with 5 before his injury. And let's see, where did that defenseman go here? Aguano with 2 points, 625 average rating. Not great to start out training camp, but the real test is the preseason, at least in terms of how they play. You know, it's a little bit more intense than training camp, I would imagine. So here we go. First game of the preseason against Hamilton. Let's do it. First period. Oh, yeah, right. It's going slow. So action speed fast forward. Clock speed fast. Highlights none. That should be good. Here we go. Yeah, there you go. So Van Loon from Jake Murray and Andre on the power play. So it's funny. They have a Jake Murray and we have Jacob Murray, I believe his name is. And then Ian Martin from DeRungs and Aguano with a point on the power play. Second period, goal by Strom from Saigon and Bertuzzi. And then Golovachev from Martin and McDougall. So McDougall signing already paying off. And then DeRungs from Martin and Aguano. Aguano with the 2-point game so far. Same thing from Martin. Well, actually, Martin with a 3-point game. And third period, here we go. D'Agostino from Entwistle and Landry. And then Golovachev, his second of the game from McDougall with his second assist. And Jacob Murray. And then Bertuzzi from Strom and Nurse to tie things up. We're going to overtime. And we're also going to a shootout. Here we go. Let's see. And Aguano and Laurie with the goals. But then Murray, Kaliev, and D'Agostino for the Hamilton win in the shootout. So that's unfortunate. But you know what? Pretty solid game for the preseason. Got to see what some of our players are about. Good showing from players such as Martin, Aguano, DeRungs, Golovachev, McDougall. And we will give all those players one more game to show what they can do. And then after that, we'll switch them out for some other players who have not played in the preseason as of yet. See what they're all about. So we can have our best day one roster going into the regular season. So game against Erie. First period, Goal by Hugh from Pringle and Iguano. Second period, not trying that one. Oh my. And then third period, Erie took over there. And they appear to have some very difficult names here. And then for us, Golovachev from Constantinu. So Constantinu gets on the board for the first time in this preseason. And we'll take a look at who did what in the first 2 preseason games and see who we need to switch out. So selections, we'll sort by defenseman first. Iguano had a 750 average rating in 2 games. Constantinu had a 7. Gordon and Murray had a 650. And then Brahani and Byrne had a 6. So I'm going to take out Byrne and Brahani in favor of Ali and Brand. And goaltenders, Bonello had a 875 save percentage, 3.39 goals against. So we'll get Pachia in there for the next 2 games. And then as far as forwards go, Golovachev had a 850 in 2 games, 3 goals. Ian Martin with a 750. Brody McDougall paying off so far, 750 average rating. And then Ian DeRungs and Justin Pringle with a 7. And Tyler Burney, Sam Field, Cameron Hugh, and Brian Laurie with a 650. And then these 3 right here, Dawson Baker, Brett Newman, and Paul Larrabee, all down there in the 5s. So we're going to scratch these 3. So that's 2 centers and a right winger. So we'll dress Freeman, Wisdom, and we'll get Mercer in there. See what we're working with. And then we'll ask the coach for the lines, and then we'll put Pachia in there. There you go. So let's see what happens with this lineup. And actually, I should probably check the tactics just in case anything changed as far as how each line should be playing. So the first line, yeah, that's good. Second line, that's good. Third line, that's good. Fourth line, oh my. That is a no-star defensive line. Well, I would imagine part of that is because there's no defenseman, obviously, on the fourth pair. But still, no defense whatsoever with that fourth line. So you know what? Just go very offensive. A lot of shooting. There you go. So not too much in terms of tactical changes, but let's move on to our next preseason game. And Sam Field has suffered an injury for 3 weeks. That is unfortunate. We are, once again, just getting injuries left and right. Laurie is back from practice, though. So Field's going to have to get scratched. And he wasn't doing too bad. He wasn't doing good either, though. So we'll get, he's a right winger. We'll get Cal Davis in there. Clear lines and get you back in there. And actually, that probably put Bonello back in. We'll get Pachia in for a game or 2. Game against London coming up on the 12th. And here we go. We're at home now. First period. Goal by Bouchard. Evan Bouchard on London. And then Wisdom with the goal from Mercer and Gordon. Second period. And that'll be a goal by Mercer from Constantinu and Iguano. Third period. And Fermenton and Dunkley score on your Kingston Frontenacs for the 3-2 victory for them. So that's an unfortunate loss right there. We had the lead going into the third, but we were not able to hold on to it. And another game right here against Saginaw. Last game of the preseason. Let's get her done. First period. All right, so the Saginaw starts out hot, but then we have 2 goals of our own. Martin from Freeman on the power play, and then shorthanded Burney from Pringle. Second period, Miknak from Gilmore and Godowski, and then Durungs roughly 2 minutes later to keep it a 1-goal game. Third period, and Perfetti will score for Saginaw from Badalamenti and Porco for the 5-3 Saginaw win. So didn't have too good of a preseason there, unfortunately, but all the preseason matters for, at least right now, is determining which players we should start in the regular season. So let's start by defenseman first. Ali is definitely not playing. We'll get Mitchell Byrne in there since he's an alternate captain, one of our better players. And actually, Jacob Murray, it switched the star from Byrne to Murray. So that's interesting. Forwards, Callaway Mercer maintained a 750 over 2 games. DeRungs maintained a 725 over 4, so he's definitely got a spot on the roster for day 1. And then Tyler Burney with a 7. Ian Martin and Brody McDougall. Zayd Wisdom over 2 games. So all those guys should get the day 1 start. Golovachev with a 675. Same thing for Justin Pringle. Cal Davis, Cameron Hugh, and Sam Field, who is currently injured at the moment, with a 650. Then Brian Laurie with a 625. And then Freeman, Baker, and Newman with a 550. And then Larrabee with a 5. So we'll get Freeman and Laurie out of there. And since Field is injured, all these guys did not impress either. So we'll get one of these guys in here, as we need to dress 2 more forwards. So that's going to be Druitt and Cranford. As long as we're not dressing too many overage players, which I don't believe we are. Yeah, it appears we only have 2 overage at the moment. So let's get the lines together. And that should be the day 1 roster for your Kingston Frontenacs. OHL season preview. So where are your Kingston Frontenacs here? We're actually 6th. We are 6th in the entire OHL for the start of the season. MVP, Billy Constantino, key rival, Cameron Hugh. So the game thinks we're good. So we'll see what happens in the regular season. I'm not expecting us, honestly, to be 6th in the entire OHL, but you know what? The game's being optimistic, so I guess I'll be optimistic as well. Okay, so what I've done now is set all the scouts out. So Sammy King will be the CHL import draft scout. Matthias Johansson will be for Kingston. Eli Bauer will be for the next opponent. Quinn Staudacher will be for the entire OHL. Gerald Wallace will be for the OHL priority selection. He is also our head scout. And then Chase Mayer will be for youth players. Jim Kovacic will be for our shortlist. And then Spencer Russell will scout all of Canada. Now, as for Andre Cheechman, I'm going to guess that's how it's pronounced, will be just an available scout for anytime we need a scout to scout a specific player, so that we are able to do that at any time. OHL top goalies. Number 1 is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen on Sudbury. Then Michael DiPietro on Ottawa. Mac Guzda on Owen Sound. Hunter Jones on Peterborough. Maxim Zukov on Barrie. Jordan Cooey on London. Matthew Villalta on Sault Ste. Marie. Anthony Popovich on Guelph. Aiden Hughes on Hamilton. And then Jacob Ingham on Mississauga. Top defenseman, Evan Bouchard on London. Adam Bachquist on London. Oh my. Ryan Merkley on Peterborough. Sean Dursey on Owen Sound. Marcus Phillips on Guelph. Mark Woolley on Guelph. Bodie Wild on Saginaw. Joey Keane on Barrie. Kevin Ball on Ottawa. And Giovanni Vellotti on Oshawa. Top left wingers, Jason Robertson on Niagara. Arthur Kaliev on Hamilton. Alex Fermenton on London. David Levin on Sudbury. Kirill Niznikov on Sudbury as well. Jacob Tortora on Barrie. Kevin Hancock on Owen Sound. Austin Keating on Ottawa. Nando Eggenberger on Oshawa. And Macaulay Carson on Sudbury. Top centers, Jack Hughes on Mississauga. Jack Hughes is on Mississauga? No way. I thought he was with the U.S. National Development Team. Oh man, that's going to be a pain where we're playing Mississauga. Ryan Suzuki on Barrie. Nick Suzuki on Guelph. Akil Thomas on Niagara. Blake Murray on Sudbury. Nate Schnarr on Guelph. Barrett Hayton on Sault Ste. Marie. Morgan Frost also on Sault Ste. Marie. Alan McShane on Oshawa. And Cameron Hillis on Guelph. Top right wingers, Kirill Maximov on Niagara. Saron Noel on Oshawa. Mackenzie N. Twistle on Hamilton. Brandon Coe on North Bay. Vanya Lodnia on Niagara. Maxim Shishko on Owen Sound. Owen Tippett on Saginaw. Philip Tomasino on Niagara. Cole Koski on Saginaw. And Luke Evangelista on London. So no one from the Kingston Frontenacs on the top anything list. Well, actually, maybe we have a top prospect here. Let's see. So Alex Turcotte on Saginaw. Currently playing for the U.S. National Development Program, however. Same thing for Cole Caulfield, who was drafted by Sault Ste. Marie. Alex Vlasic, drafted by London, currently playing for U.S. National Development Team. And then Jacob Perreault on Sarnia. John Beecher on Sault Ste. Marie, currently playing for U.S. It seems to be the case for half of these players here. Case McCarthy on Sarnia, currently in the U.S. National Development Team. Vladislav Kolyachonok. Igor Afanasev on Windsor, currently on Muskegon in the USHL. Brendan Kishnick on Erie. And then Robert Mastros Simone on Mississauga, currently playing for Chicago in the USHL. So, no top prospects, no top players, nothing. I'm surprised Aguano isn't on here. He might be like number 11 on the top defenseman because he is pretty good. Based on what we saw out of him in the preseason and just based off of his attributes in general, he appears to be the most likely to be drafted in the first round for this team. And it's also why he, frankly, got captaincy. So, a couple more days here till the start of the regular season against Ottawa. And here we go. Game number 1 of the regular season. We are now underway in Kingston. First period. And the first regular season goal by Justin Pringle from Cal Davis. And then Mitchell Holscher from Felhaber and Clark. And then Cranford from Mercer and Byrne. All right, second period. Clark from Hoffenmeyer and Rippon for Ottawa. So we are tied going into the third period. There you go. DeRungs from Davis and then Davis from Wisdom. So Davis with a solid 3-point night. Game against Oshawa. Let's see. First period. 2 goals by McShane on the power play. Second period. Goal by Wisdom from Aguano and Byrne. So I believe that is Aguano's first point of the season. And third period. Oh, there you go. Murray from Pringle. Davis from Wisdom. Eggenberger from McShane and Tulio on the power play. But then Golovachev from Aguano. So a 2-point night for Aguano. And then Constantinu from Davis and Wisdom. So I believe that is actually... Is that a 4-point night from Wisdom? It's at least 3 points. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2... Yeah, it's a 3-point night from Wisdom. Very nice. Cameron Hugh has suffered an injury for a week with an arm contusion. All right, well, we'll have to work around that. I would say we'll put Hotchkiss in there. He was in there originally. So clear all lines and confirm. And we'll go a couple more days here. We'll go until... the draft notifications show up to show if we have any guys who are going to be drafted. So Kingston with a 4-3 win against Hamilton. Goal by Martin from Jewett and Gordon. Then Cranford from Wisdom. And then Wisdom from Cranford. And then Martin from Aguano and DeRungs on the power play. So your Kingston Frontenacs are 3-0 to start the season. Not bad. Not bad at all. I honestly thought we would go 0-3, but apparently the computer had other ideas. So, and I'm glad it did. I'm very glad it did. And the OHL Player of the Month is Zaid Wisdom of your Kingston Frontenacs, scoring 2 goals and assisting on 4 other goals in 3 games. Solid start to the season for Wisdom. And then Bodie Wild is the Rookie of the Month, and the Player of the Week is Mac Hollowell. Game against Ottawa. Let's see it. And oh my, Ottawa immediately running away with this one. 4 goals in the first for them. And then Martin from Aguano and Murray on the power play for us. 4-1 after 1. Oh my. Second period. All right, there we go. We're back in it. Aguano with his first goal of the season from Wisdom and Brand. And then Davis from DeRungs and Hotchkiss. Let's go, boys. Third period. Couldn't complete the comeback. We got it tied. Martin from Druitt and Brand, but then Clark from Belanger and Keating, and then Felhaber from Hoffenmeyer and Belanger on the power play. So there's our first loss of the season. Showed a lot of fight, but unfortunately not enough as they took the lead back and they took the win. All right, so here we go. Here's the draft stuff. Pachia suffers injury for 10 days with a foot contusion. That is unfortunate. Good thing we have 3 goaltenders. Board confidence update. They are pleased. Scouting update. So Constantinu ranked by scouting services. He made it into the 120th place. So he's going around the end of the 4th round, start of the 5th round. All right. Now here's the guy who I'm really interested in, Aguano. He's going 127th? Huh? Okay. I honestly thought Aguano would be way up there. I thought he would be in the first round. I really thought he would be in the first round. I'm surprised Constantino is ranked above him. And he doesn't even have as many points as Aguano does so far. Yeah, Aguano has 5 points to start out the season. He's been solid. And yeah, he got shafted. He got shafted in those draft rankings, in the preliminary rankings. He's just going to have to work hard this season and hopefully get into the first round. I'm shocked. I really am. I thought he would be like at least first round, you know. All right. Or if not first round, then, you know, second or third. But man, 4th round, 5th round almost. I mean, geez. All right. Well, I think this video has gone on pretty long at this point, so we'll check out the stats as they currently are, and then we'll end things off, as we've already done quite a bit in this episode, and we'll continue with the regular season in the next one. But for right now, let's check out the stats. So we'll start out with goaltenders, and Mario Pachia with an .833 save percentage, and Bonello with an .878. So Bonello's definitely been the better goaltender so far. Defenseman, as far as points go, Aguano obviously leads the way with 5 and 4 games. And then Brand, Byrne, and Murray with 2. Constantino and Gordon with 1. And then average ratings, Aguano is the only one above a 7. And he's actually an 8. And then Byrne, Constantino, and Murray all at a 675. Brand at a 650. And Emmett Gordon at a 625. As far as forwards, Zaid Wisdom with an 8. Cal Davis with a 775, Ian Martin with a 750, Ryan Cranford with a 725, same thing for Ian DeRungs, Cameron Hugh with a 7, Dennis Golovachev with a 675, Callaway Mercer with a 650, Tyler Burney, Luke Druitt, and Brody McDougall, all with a 625 so far, Matt Hotchkiss with a 6 in 2 games, and then Justin Pringle with a 575. So that'll just about, well, actually, we'll check the points. I don't think we checked points. We just did average ratings for forwards. So Zaid Wisdom, obviously, with 7 points. We saw this. He started out hot on the season so far. Same thing for Cal Davis, 6 points in 4 games. Ian Martin with 4 goals in 4 games. DeRungs and Cranford with 3 points. Druitt and Pringle with 2 points. And then Golovachev, Hotchkiss, and Mercer all with 1. And then everyone else either hasn't played or has no points. So there you go. There's the start of your year 1 Kingston Frontenacs. Looking pretty good so far. We're currently in 2nd in the Eastern Conference, only behind Sudbury and tied with Mississauga. But we have played fewer games than Mississauga. So hopefully we can win our next one and take control of 2nd place. But obviously it's very early in the season. A little too early to tell whether we'll be a playoff team or not, but I'm hoping that we will be. And as a matter of fact, there's only 2 teams that don't make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and the Western Conference. So there's only 4 teams in the OHL that don't make the playoffs out of 20. So, you know, as long as we keep up this pace, there's a very good chance that we'll be in the playoffs. But obviously that's dependent on a couple of things. I would say that's dependent on Anthony Iguano performing up to expectations. And then I would say our goaltending needs to get better as well, for sure. So I'll leave it off there. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.